Do you guys remember over the summer when Playboy model Danny Mathers Snapchatted this photo of a woman in a gym locker room? Remember that? People were absolutely outraged at her post and took to social media to air their concern. Now, months later, Danny is back on social media saying she takes full responsibility for what she did. I like that she did that.
Yeah.
True. But here's the thing. We always talk about Danny Mathers and that photo she posted. We never talk about the poor woman who was the subject of that Snapchat shame. Shaming like this can actually stay with you for a long time. Have you guys ever experienced shaming like this that kind of just sticks to your bones?
All the time,
God,
right?
Yes. I think you always grow up with somebody saying something because you don't picture what looks different about you. You don't picture what looks wrong about you until somebody else points out that buck tooth or, you know, for me it was those skinny legs. I'll never forget this kid named Fernando who really, if we really think about it, he didn't have good hair. But he used to tell me, like, your legs look like chopsticks. Can you eat with those chopsticks? You can walk yourself back to China.
Oh, my goodness.
And I obviously there's racial things in there too, but like, it really, I compared my legs from then on always to other women, and it really bugged me. And then later on in high school, I'll never forget this one boy named Chris Nguyen at Milpitas High School. He was a senior, I was a sophomore, and he just said in front of all these people, we're sitting at a party, and he goes, "Dang, Jeannie, you got some really nice legs." And it switched. That one compliment. So it made me realize, and Lonnie, you do this now, ladies out there, when you get a compliment, really accept it. Don't reject it.
Own that.
Because that compliment could change your life.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I used to compliment Lonnie, if we can be real.
Yeah.
It's like so many seasons now. When we compliment Lonnie, she'd be like, stop it, let's go. We got a show to do. We got a show to do, you know? But then now she's like, you like them? Thanks. I love that.
I love it.
I can remember when I was in high school, you know, because I was always the big girl, you know, and I always thought nobody don't want me, and people used to tease me, and that type of shaming, that's why, you know, I had to build my confidence. But I remember one time, it was a group of boys, it was like 3 of them, and one of them was like, here she comes, the Big Lon, that's what they call me, Big Lon in high school, and then one guy was like, I like Big Lon. I was like,
See? It's that one person.
And that changed my whole attitude because I was like, but then I started realizing that it has to come within me.
For sure.
I can't wait for people to validate me. It had to come in me.
That's very true. I can remember when I was younger, fun fact about my sister and I is we actually used to dance. Like I can tap dance, I can hip hop, I can jazz. But one of the things that dancers would always recommend to my sister and I is try ballet because when you do ballet, that's when you learn, you know, how to be graceful. Well, I remember taking this one ballet class and there was this teacher, he wasn't very nice, and he told me to plie. Plie is when you kind of like squat a little bit, and he told me, you should be sticking in your butt. And I said, I am sticking in my butt. It just happens to be, you know, that big. And then he said, you know what, you're not fit to be a ballerina dancer. Oof. And you guys, I carried that for a very, very long time, that I actually used to cover my butt with my hands when I walked. And I remember my mom was like, girl, what are you doing? And I said, Mom, I'm just a little bit, you know, self-conscious about my behind. And she said, no, honey, you got body.
Okay.
You need to own that. You have curves, and that's a beautiful thing.
I love that. I think, you know, body shaming actually didn't happen for me until I was older, until recently on this show, if I'm honest, you know. With obviously I turned 30 and gained weight, and people really seem to have a major issue with it, calling out everything from, oh my God, literally under our even the Real Daytime's Instagram, one of the pictures, I think it was what I thought was a nice picture of us, they're like, what the heck is Adrienne eating? Like just these constant comments about my weight. And it sucked. I mean, I had never dealt with anything like that before. I weigh 110 pounds. I never thought that was like, oh my God, why is she so fat? And like, you guys know what, you read it. Come on, don't act like you didn't read it.
People think
don't
I'm
act
so
like you guys didn't hear that I got fat. You didn't hear about it?
I knew,
yes, you did.
but I you know,
that was hurtful. That sucked. I felt like okay, like, yes, I've gained some weight, but is it that deep to go? Like, I would never go on someone's page and say something like that about them. I just would never do that. I don't care if I thought it. Like, even if I thought, okay, she's gaining weight, like, when you talked about that girl that actually was in the picture that was snapshot and calling her the victim, so to speak,
right,
of the Snapchat thing, you guys never know what someone's going through. Like,
right,
you don't know what that woman deals with or why that weight gain is happening. You don't know. And to just add that, how cruel that is to say, you know, I do suffer from a thyroid condition, which has to do with a lot of weight gain. I have an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's that also has to do with my weight gain. So that just adds to it. Like, you don't know what somebody goes through or why they look the way they do. But to add an insult to injury, it's just not right.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter whether you know, have a condition.
I
just like to eat, okay? And that's my right if I like to eat.
100%.
And I'm glad that when old girl posted it, you know, the Playboy model, that people checked her. Because that's what we have to keep doing, okay? We have to check people.
Keep each other in mind. Don't jump on the bandwagon.
Right. Look, as long as I sit next to you, you gonna always look small, okay?